Hi vibes everybody, and welcome to another Vibration video. In today's episode, this is going to be the second video in the health series, and I wanted to go into a little bit about processed foods and junk foods, all the different foods they have out here. And so we can ask ourselves the question, is processed food draining my energy? And ask ourselves, is this food really serving us on a deeper energetic level? Not only food affects us physically, but we also have to realize it's affecting us mentally, because it's dealing with the emotions, dealing with the energy that we have of our thinking, our critical thinking, and just all the stuff our mind has to do. We have to have energy to do that. But most importantly, our spirit is affected by this, because our spirit is operating the mind and the body and flowing through that in order to experience this reality. As spiritual beings, we always have to remember that spirit comes first, and that spirit manifests itself through the mind and the body. So if the mind and the body are getting affected by these foods, then it's also affecting us on a spiritual level. We have to realize it's affecting us on all points of our being. And so let me just get right into some of the processed foods and what is it really doing to us. So when it comes to processed foods, we have like things like, just for example, like we have McDonald's, or we have Coca-Cola, all these sodas, all these sugary drinks, and candy, just all sorts of stuff, these chips, cupcakes, donuts, everything that you could imagine. And people eat these things like every single day. And I know this because when I was a kid, I used to eat these types of foods every single day, and that's pretty much all I would eat. Like if my parents asked me what I wanted for dinner, I would be like, yeah, fast food. Of course that's what we wanted, because we were kids and it tasted good. And that's also another thing that we have to realize, is that they get us in the mind there by tricking us with the taste, with the pleasure, with the sensation of it being good. In that moment we're enjoying it because it's sending certain signals to our brain, certain emotional responses, dopamine, and getting us to feel good when we're eating that food, which then over time, if you keep eating that food and getting that dopamine response, you're going to want to keep coming back to that food, and you're going to have this addiction to this food. And they've even proven this in science, that sugar is I don't know how many times more addictive than cocaine, but they have proven this scientifically, that sugar is more addictive than the hard, drug cocaine. And we all know how messed up that can be in people's lives when they get addicted to these, substances and stuff. But we have to realize that even the food itself has become a drug in today's world. It's become, we've lost touch with nature, which nature will provide us with the food we need, fruits and vegetables, even if we eat animals, we could hunt animals, we could grow our food, all that stuff. Nature had all the abundance we needed to thrive and be abundant in our lives when it comes to the food that we need. But now that we're out of nature, and now that we're in this more man-made matrix system, this more technologically driven matrix system, they have the convenience of fast food. And any time throughout your day, you're like, oh, I'm hungry, let me go get some McDonald's. And they have that set up so that you get that circuit going, basically that cycle of going back to these places over and over. You're feeding them all your energy. And what you don't realize is that once that food goes into you, you have to process that food, and that food has energy to it. So imagine all the negative energy that's put into these foods, where the animals aren't cared for, the vegetables are just all GMO and pumped full of hormones and chemicals. Like, imagine what that's actually doing to you on an energetic level once it goes inside of you. It's not just, food isn't just about satisfying, the senses, satisfying our tongue, but it's much deeper. When you get that deeper connection to food, you can start to actually nourish yourself, on all levels of your being, and it will flow for full circle. Like, this will help you on all levels, because you'll have the energy to do what you need. Getting back to the junk food, these are the type of foods that are draining your energy, essentially. And you have to ask yourself, is it really worth it? Is it worth just these sensations and these different, pleasures that I can experience when I eat these foods? Or is there something more to this, to eating, to nourishing myself, to actually taking charge for my health, actually being responsible for what I put within myself? And that's something personally I've been doing for a few years now, is maintaining that sort of connection that I have to food, that I'm actually nourishing myself when I eat, that I'm actually taking in things that are going to benefit to my vibration, help increase that vibration, help me vibrate on a higher frequency, more natural plant-based foods, more organic and, closer to the earth, sustainably sourced foods, that actually have that solar energy within them. They have that better energy to them, so that we can start to take in those energies and we can start to become more in tune and in balance with nature. And just by eating, you can get these certain energies, but we have to be willing to let go of all the processed food and all the junk food. Like, I pretty much throw that stuff out the window. I'm not saying I don't ever, go out to eat, or I don't ever, treat myself, but I know, and I'm very mindful of the foods that I am eating. And I ask myself, is this really going to benefit me right now? It might look good, but is this really going to benefit me and, help me stay aware and be mindful? Is it going to help me have the energy I need to get what I need done? Or is it just going to, take away from that? So personally, I like to try to cut out everything I can that isn't going to help me. And obviously to the degree I can, because, with money, we have to buy food. And they also did that because, they make these foods so accessible for a reason. If you think about it, like, are these modern conveniences and easy to get fast food and different sugary drinks and stuff, are these modern conveniences really good for me? Or is it just like a trap basically to take that energy from me and not allow me to shine my brightest light within, this world? Because like I was saying, everything is energy. So when we can become mindful of the energy we consume, we can start to produce a higher frequency of energy within ourselves. And that within itself, has just so many benefits to it. But then taking that energy and actually putting it to use, sharing that new wisdom and that new perception that we have with others, so that they can get in tune with that energy. Because it's very important that as more and more people, awaken to the truth and to, the way this reality has been, constructed, and the way, they have all these things out there basically designed to subtly take your energy. So we have to tune ourselves first, so that we can then be that example for others to realize there's a different way, that we don't have to follow what society feeds us. We can choose what we consume. We can choose the energy that we want to put into, because like I was saying also earlier, like, we're putting all of our energy, all of our money, because money is energy too, into these businesses, and we're just helping them thrive while, so many other people around the world are suffering and don't have access to, that much abundance of food and all the other things that come with it. So I didn't want to make this video too long, I just wanted to go into looking within ourselves and asking, are any of these foods I'm eating in my life, are they really benefiting me? Or if I am eating all these processed foods and stuff, how can I get rid of them? How can I free up my energy and let go of certain things in order to get a stronger connection within myself? And that's, something I've learned through that discipline, through that mindfulness of what I eat, what I consume. I can now begin to be more mindful of all the other choices I'm making and see where they might be affecting me, even subtly, because like I was saying, even on that subtle level, they're getting your mind to want to come back for more. So if we can retrain our minds, we can be more disciplined, then we can start to train our minds to know when to say no, and also have the balance with it. And obviously, if you want to go out to eat sometimes, of course, enjoy that food and make the most of it. But when it's a habit to where it's like an uncontrollable habit and you're not consciously choosing what you want to eat, then that lies, the issue. At least I feel in societies that so many people are blind to that. They have a choice and they've just been programmed to make the choice, to have the choices made for them with what's available. So, pretty much that's all I want to go into for this one. Let us know in the comments if you've given up junk food and stuff, how it's benefited you. If you're struggling to do it, feel free to reach out as well, and like, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos, check us out on the website, and high vibes. Peace out.
High vibes. Vibranation team here,
inviting you guys to check out our website
at vibranation.com.
Here you can find out more of what Vibranation is about
and get to know our team.
You can also find high vibrational information and products
covering all aspects spiritually, mentally, and physically.
Not to mention, by joining our mailing list,
you'll have opportunities to exclusive deals and never before seen information.
And if you'd like to connect with us more,
follow us on Instagram at Vibranation Official.
And get to vibe closer with our team.
And of course,
our deepest gratitude for watching.